Identity theft has been the top consumer complaint filed with the FTC for over 15 years straight. Victims are spending an exorbitant amount of time and money dealing with it. Introducing Cover Your Assets with Nancy O and Harvey Katz. They will bring the latest news on how criminals are getting smarter, and they have the solution to keep them at bay. Nancy and Harvey are informative and will get you motivated to cover your assets. If you want to ask them a question, call into the show at 888-565-1470 and let them get you on the right track in protection. Here's Nancy O and Harvey Katz.
Hello, folks. This is Nancy O, and I'm here tonight with Harvey Katz, my co-host, and we're going to talk with you about covering your assets. Harvey, would you like to tell them a little bit about yourself? Let me introduce you to the public.
Yes, it's getting a little boring, but I'll be glad to for the new listeners. I am an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, had several businesses. I been a CEO of a couple of public companies. I retired, came back out, and I was looking for something and decided that there's been so much problems with identity theft to do something about it. And that's why we're here today to talk about identity theft.
And myself, I'm a former educator, and I just happen to really like spreading the message and being helpful to people and helping them understand how important it is to cover your assets. Okay, Harvey, let's talk a little bit about the subject.
Okay.
Harvard risk management. You want to tell the folks about that?
Yeah, Nancy, let's kick off the show today by going right into what Harvard risk management is and what it does.
ID Shield is sponsored by Harvard Risk Management, and I'll tell you a little bit about the background of the company. Harvard Risk Management Corporation is the largest broker of legal and identity theft plans in the U.S., and we pride ourselves on providing high-quality, affordable service for everyone, for our customers. We've been around for over 20 years or more, and we find real solutions to real problems facing individuals with identity issues.
Exactly.
And this is a very, very serious problem because there's over 40,000 victims of identity theft every day. And identity theft is now ranked the fastest growing crime in America. And the average victim spends hundreds of hours trying to restore their identity and often has to, hire an attorney. It's very, very costly and miss time from work, and the employers are affected. And, corporations now are offering identity theft protection as a benefit at a discount to their employees. This is a big new trend now. Yeah. So not only individuals are looking to protect themselves, but corporations are realizing how it affects the workplace when one of their employees has something like an identity thief take the identity. And what kind of identity are we talking about? And I'll tell you the different kinds of problems. Well, by the way, there are over 3.5 million children already have been fallen victim. Well, how do they do this? These crooks, these vampires, identity vampires, figure out how to actually get the Social Security number before even newborns are born.
There's all sorts of ways.
And there's all kind of ways. I don't know. I'm not a identity vampire, so it's hard for me to know. Yeah. But they know the different ways, and there are always new ways. And it takes about 60 seconds to find out that you're a victim, but average of hundreds and hundreds of hours to restore you, and dollars and time. And it's so demeaning to have lost something, we work so hard to establish an identity. We do this for our credit, for our identity, for ourselves, for our selfhood, for our future, for our family, and to be taken away, it's very, very psychologically damaging, financially damaging.
It's making a person feel violated.
Oh, it's very
simply put.
And the most 6 common types of identity theft are the following: credit. on that talk, credit cards, banks will call you and say someone is using your credit card. There's some activity going on. I know that recently happened. My daughter was visiting, and she gave me her credit card. She says, "Mom, go to the store." So I went to Trader Joe's. I went to Fresh Market and Publix. Well, she said, "You can sign my signature." So I did. But the activity was Trader Joe's, and 10 minutes later, I was at the Fresh Market. I happen to live in the area where they all are. And then I was across the street at Publix, and they said, "Stop, your card won't go through." And they called her up, and they said, "Somebody's using your identity." And she said, "Oh, that's my mom. I gave her permission." But banks will do that. But what they don't restore, and ID sure will, is the restoration of your credit. Because banks will tell you, and they may replace the money, but the restoration of your credit is a big thing.
And your identity that's the big thing.
Exactly. And then you have driver's license, and we know about that, and Social Security, getting a hold of Social Security cards. And some of these vampires sometimes bundle 7 identities together so they can create identity to leave the country or to come into the country. And
exactly.
I know that some of the foreign people coming into the company, like workers here, and have this happen, and they do this together.
A lot of time they have.
And sometimes very good people, but other times undesirable. Anyway, it happens. And medical, we all know of stories where somebody has had their, maybe you don't know of it, but I'm going to tell you it happens.
Right.
Numbers from Medicare or health care plans are taken, and all of a sudden, someone's premiums are going up because somebody's using the identity, or they're getting a copay in the bill.
Right.
And the other one is the criminal. There's stories about people being stopped, by the police or by whoever.
It's usually going hand in hand with the driver's license.
Yeah, when you're stopped, a flat tire or something happens, or
you
wrong
get
turn,
a
and they
speeding
look
ticket,
at a
they
speeding
stop
ticket.
you.
Tell us about that one incident that you were telling. I heard you talking about outside the room today.
Yeah, well,
with a woman with
good
children.
example, Nancy, is
Please
this.
tell us about that.
Yeah, a good example is a lady gets stopped doing a speeding, and she pulls over a nurse, and she said, "I know I was speeding." The policeman said, "That's fine, let me run your license." He comes back and he said, "I need you to get out of the car. The reason is you are under arrest for not going, and you missed a court appearance for cocaine dealing."
Oh my gosh, so crazy.
She said, "I never dealt with cocaine. What's going on?" He said, "I'm sorry, but we have a warrant outstanding warrant for your arrest." Takes her to the jail, to the precincts, puts her in jail. 3 days later, they find out, after checking her fingerprints, find out that it was not her and somebody stole her identity.
Wow.
Now, the police have so much work, they said, "We'll help clear your identity up." They did it for that precinct. But in the next 2 years, she got 7 times, and one of the times she got arrested, her kids were in the car with her.
Oh, wow.
And they wound up taking the kids to Children's Services.
Oh.
This is a horrible thing.
Damaging
it really is
so
very,
it's
very
a
bad.
memory that'll never be forgotten.
Oh, it is.
How it's a violation of that family.
Yes.
Because that's the criminal, and then the minor, like we spoke about before.
Then she also don't forget that she has to hire an attorney to help her clear up her name. And that's another real hard thing to happen.
Expensive.
It's not just one thing, it's several things. You start off, like you were saying with your daughter.
Yeah.
When they take that credit card, the bank will replace the money if somebody took it. The problem is the backup, they do not restore your identity.
That's right.
And the person who takes that card now has your Social Security card number. Now they can take that card, open up new credit cards in your name, use a different address, have the bill come to this other address that you have absolutely no idea about, and all of a sudden, when you go to make a major purchase, your credit is shot.
And how would they know the Social Security number from the credit card?
On the back of the card, there's a little magnetic strip that has all your information.
Really?
And it's very simple for the criminals to get that. They have readers.
They know how to decode it and so forth.
They know how to decode it. They know cards have this little chip. It's an RFI, a radio frequency chip. They have a scanner that can go 10 feet away, scan your purse or a man in his wallet, and take your identity from there alone. It has all your information. So whatever you do, give us a call or go to our website
Cover Your Assets.
at www.coveryourassets.tv.
And there's information
And
there.
give us a call at 888-405-8780. Let me know, and I'll send you an RFI protector. Or call the show, and while we're on the air now, I'll be glad to get that information.
And if you go to www.coveryourassets.tv, there's lots of interesting information on there. And leave your name, a message, and so forth. It's just a friendly call back from Harvey. He's on the show right now, so he'll get back to you as soon as he can. And information about purchasing, if you would like to. It's so cost effective and reasonable. There is a solution to protecting ourselves, and you'll be amazed how inexpensive it is. Just as inexpensive as a couple cups of coffee at Starbucks, or a new lipstick for some women, depending on what, if they're getting the Identity Shield, ID Shield, and there's another partner to it's called Legal Shield. We'll get into that on another program, but you'll be amazed how much does it cost to protect yourself with ID Shield. Tell us about it with the one person or the whole family.
Well, people are always asking. There's a number of companies out there that will monitor you. Our company actually not just monitors you, but actually has the ability to restore your identity.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for an individual, it's only $9.95 a month. For an entire family, that means you, your spouse or partner,
and all my children,
and up to 8 children, minor children, living at home, and that whole total cost is only $19.95. And that's for the entire family.
It's amazing,
with all the benefits.
Actually.
By the way, Nancy, you didn't say much about the people and who actually is behind ID Shield, and that's Kroll.
Yes.
You want to tell the
sure,
people
I'd like to tell about
Kroll?
Kroll. Yes. Kroll Fraud Solutions Group. It's the largest risk consulting company. It's founded in 1972. It's headquartered in New York City. It operates in 65 cities and 33 countries with over 38,000 employees, 3,800 employees.
3,800.
But the interesting thing is this Kroll has offices in over 33 countries. So if you're traveling abroad, if you have a problem, if you're a United States citizen, or if you're able to have ID Shield, you're protected. And immediately, if there's anything happening, then you have a private investigator that's yours alone who works through the case. And you can go on with your life knowing that there's up to $5 million for your restoration of your credit.
With no out-of-pocket cost.
No out-of-pocket cost.
And that's so important.
It's so important. And by the way, it's, I've heard people say, well, this happened to me, blah, blah, and they want to get it right in the midst of the problem. You can't do it once the problem is happening. I mean, if you had an issue, you can certainly get identity theft now, ID Shield now. But if something happens, say, I want to, Nancy, will you help me get enrolled, or where's that website? It doesn't work then. It has preventive medicine. It's the preventive
insurance.
It's
that's why you actually. That's why we have.
It's medicine because it keeps your head, feeling good, and otherwise it's like.
This is a way of protecting oneself in advance.
It exactly. It's preventive measure.
That's what it does, and it's so important to reiterate your point, Nancy, about when something does happen, you do have a breach on your identity. All you do is call a 1-800 number to ID Shield. And a real person answers a call, not a call room.
Very yeah.
And you are assigned and you're turned over to a licensed investigator. These investigators are not what they call open panel. They're not subcontracted. The investigators are actual employees of Kroll. And that's all they do is work on identity.
Yes, and there's no extra fee. Yes, it means peace of mind.
Not just peace of mind, but and it also means they're doing this so regularly, and this is all they're doing.
In the field.
They know who to contact, and they make a shorten the process because they're doing it all the time.
Folks, your identity is your business. Protecting it is ours. Now, I think it's about time we're going to have a commercial.
Yes, I think it's just about time for a commercial.
And when you come back.
Yeah, but when we come back.
We have an interesting topic.
About, you know what it is?
What the IRS isn't telling you about identity theft. So don't go away.
Yeah,
okay?
so
keep listening.
I see we have another minute or so
We'll be
before
right
the
back.
commercial.
Okay, then remember
And
to tell
what I'm
them
gonna
your
tell
number,
them about,
your personal number, and the
Yeah.
webpage. You want to remind them?
that's a great idea. Again, you can always call me at 888-405-8780. Or if you have any questions, call the show at 888-561-1470. And again, that's 888-561-1470.
Now, folks, don't be shy about calling in. You know, we just mentioned your first name. You don't have to identify. Just, tell us what happened with you. Share with us. And if you have any questions about the Identity ID program that we offer through ID Shield, ask it.
Exactly.
We'd love to hear from you.
We
Be so
also had
quiet.
another situation that came up that you
What
mentioned
happened?
earlier, and that is about employees. We mentioned that, but people should realize if they tell their employer about it, this is a voluntary process for the employer to offer their employees as a benefit, and it also usually does not cost the employer any money.
Yes.
But according to studies, it reduces absenteeism. It also reduces stress in the workplace and
Exactly.
increases productivity.
Exactly. So
And the good thing is they get a discount because they got a group of employees.
That's right. No, if anyone out there is listening and you have an interest in us coming in to visit your company and show your employees what this is about, we'll be very happy to share. There's no obligation, but to come right in there and
Exactly.
explain it to them because it's good. It increases work productivity and time out. I think it's time now, isn't it? But be sure to come on back because what we're going to talk about, Harvey's going to talk about what the IRS isn't telling you about identity theft. So please don't go away. We'll be back with more.
Legal Shield has provided legal protection to millions of people for over 40 years. We monitor your identity from every angle, not just your social security number, credit cards, and bank accounts. We ensure everything connected to you is safe. ID Shield is the only company with an exclusive partnership with Kroll, the worldwide leader in theft investigative services. If a compromise occurs, contact your licensed private investigator who will immediately begin to restore your identity to exactly the way it was. For more information, call Harvey Katz, a certified risk management consultant. Call 1-888-405-8780 and get started on protection right away. You can visit his website at coveryourassets.tv for more information. Call 1-888-405-8780 and let Harvey help you cover your assets. You are listening to Cover Your Assets with Nancy O. and Harvey Katz. If you want more information, visit coveryourassets.tv and watch all prior shows there. All information on the products will be highlighted on the website. Now, let's get back to the show.
Hello again. When Harvey came in this evening, he says, Nancy, I got to tell these people, these folks out there, I came across some information, what the IRS isn't telling you about your identity theft. So, Harvey, take it away.
Okay, yeah. It's typical type of government bureaucracy today. Anytime you hear the IRS, I'm running scared. That's what my definition of IRS is. Unfortunately, there are so many people, Nancy, who go to H&R Block or go to Jack's and to have their taxes done, especially this time of year.
Of course.
We're just getting really into the season now. And people go in and they're filing their forms and getting their taxes done. They go in for their electronic filing, and lo and behold, guess what happens? It comes back rejected. You already submitted your forms and somebody else got your refund.
That's a nasty.
Oh, it's a horrible thing. And what they don't tell you is, according by law, it's supposed to only take 180 days to clear it up. Oh. The average person today, according to an article I have in my hand from USA Today, and this was just published 2 days ago, January 30th, it's taken the average person 287 days to clear up their identity with the IRS. It's an unbelievable mess.
And just to even get them on the phone is a miracle, you know.
It
the
really
whole
is,
thing,
and
you know,
because it's a
dealing with
backup.
that. Yeah, well, you know.
It's happening to so many people today. You know, there's other things to worry about. When you do a W-2, I don't know if you realize this, Nancy. When people file a W-2, the people now, the employers, file it with Social Security, not the IRS. Social Security puts it in. The IRS gets it probably about July. Now, what that means is the criminals have from now till July, and they know it, to really do your taxes and play a game on you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is just a real mess and a horror story for people.
Horror nightmare.
It really is. I know people who are servicemen, you know, who work hard and they're defending our country, who went in. I know people from last year, they were expecting to get their refunds, and they come home on leave, and it said, sir or captain, guess what? You don't have the refund coming because you already filed your taxes.
Identity vampires, you know, out there. And, you know, actually, it's, 10 years ago, I was approached for, somebody said to me, you know, would you like to purchase identity theft protectors? I wasn't interested, but now everybody is interested. Everybody needs this protection. So the deal, you know, for the family, up to 10 children, to protect a family, it's a must.
It is a must. It is a must.
You know, it's a must.
And I'll tell you another.
Professional investigators, if something should happen, and more is happening every day.
Yes.
Just listen to the news, morning, night, afternoon. Just listen to the stories. People tell me. I wish they would call in and tell you some of the things that are happening. It's
yesterday,
so
on all the newscasts, there was a news story about this, exactly the subject by H&R Block, about people going in and having their identities stolen for filing taxes. It is a real mess. It's horrible. Now, there is something I'm going to tell you a little something about.
Please.
And that is
tell us
about the scams.
The scams
with the IRS.
Okay.
More and more people are getting calls. One of my old partners, and they're not young anymore, got a call from the IRS. First of all, she was very smart. She hung up on them. That's exactly what you do. If somebody said they're calling from the IRS, hang up the phone. That is a scam person.
Slam it.
Exactly. What they're trying to do, the usual scam is this. Hi, Nancy. This is Mr. Katz with the IRS, and I just want to let you know I'm calling regarding a past tax bill, and if you don't pay this bill within 24 hours, we will have a person at your door to arrest you. So, and then they ask you for Social Security and payment. The worst thing you can do is give them a Social Security number. Again, never give your Social Security number, especially to anybody over the telephone.
Oh, yeah.
Protect your assets.
Even shopping sites, unusual ones that you never heard of. There are some websites that I heard that are set up just to capture ID. You know, it's not even a real product. It's just to capture your order. And you don't get your stuff. It's just another
your email.
To capture. Now,
never store on your email any of your identity, none of your credit card numbers, your Social Security. Don't put on the computer, on the emails and on your Gmail or Yahoo, whatever, never put a little file that says passwords with all your passwords to everything, because if they get your account, they have your whole life.
Identity. And even on Facebook, you know, like, avoid putting your children and family on there, because you can have some weirdo who befriends you, and who knows what that weirdo is. Is it it could be...
Or a single mother.
Or a person, and they become your friend, and they track your family. Like, you know, mother says, we're going here today, and so forth, and exposing your children to risk. If you expose them to Facebook. You have to protect your children. I mean, our children are really... We love our children, but it's weird. Weirdos are out there, and they're looking to hang out and lurk around and lurk on Facebook. And
this is the same thing.
It's an identity theft thing, because they're taking the identity
your kids' identity.
Sure.
And because why? you're not checking on them, Nancy. Most people never check their children's identity or credit report, and if they do under the age of 16,
how old they are,
call Legal Shield, because they will also notify you. That's the great thing about Legal Shield. They just don't take your name and your bank accounts and your credit cards.
No, it's all encrypted.
They'll ask you for your passport number, your medical ID card numbers, your children's social security number, your children's bank accounts. And the great thing is they monitor these all the time.
I want to ask a question.
Sure.
How do the folks know that when they're giving ID Shield their information, that it's being protected? I mean, what do? You just fill out a form, and it's, how do they protect those people taking an ID Shield plan?
Perfect.
I know how, but share it with the folks, because I'm sure that's a big question mark.
Because what happens is we do take a lot of paper applications, but a lot of times we'll do it online, and that's kind of nice in a way, because the person, when they're filling it out online, they actually are on their computer typing, and they see a screen come up, information. They'll ask for all the information I've been discussing, your name, be sure to get your passport numbers, because if you lose your passport number overseas, it's worth thousands of dollars. All your other information, your children's information, your spouse information, the great thing is all encrypted by Kroll. This website is very well encrypted, and they have it, nobody else can get to it. Kroll is the largest security and fraud company in the world today. Do you know that they do what they call dark websites, which means that they do backgrounds on 96 billion, that would it be, sites throughout the world.
Wow. Kroll, once again, was founded in 1972 by Jules Kroll.
Yes.
And the headquarters are right in New York. And remember that it's operating in 65 cities and 33 countries. You can feel free to travel if you have this ID Shield protection. And don't be shy about going to the website. Go there and look at coveryourassets.tv and call Harvey. There's free information, but please plan to call in next week, or if you have a topic that you want to discuss, send Harvey an email and he'll cover that. And if you have a special guest that you want on, refer them to us and we'll be happy. Folks, it looks like it's getting time for us to go today, this evening.
And the nice thing is, by working with us and working with the government, Kroll does this for 30 countries, not 30 worldwide governments, not
really
just
wonderful
people, but they do the largest 100 Fortune companies in the world today.
That's true.
They do background checks, they do security checks, they do protect our securities. Remember, as Nancy said earlier, your identity is your business, protecting it is ours.
Please come back and join us next week. Tell your friends about this. Look forward to seeing you.
Yes. Oh, by the way, next week we will have a special guest coming in, and it's going to be a surprise guest. So be sure to tune in.
Okay.
Listen, and we look forward for your phone calls. Don't be shy, and please start calling in. We're looking for your phone call because we want to hear your stories.
Thank you. See you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Cover Your Assets, where your hosts, Nancy O. and Harvey Katz, have shown you how to protect yourself in today's world. If you would like to send questions or comments, visit the chat room at coveryourassets.tv and perhaps have it read on the air. Thanks for listening and watching today, and we will see you next week with more Cover Your Assets.